Hey friends! What's up? Welcome back to a new live stream on the channel. I know there were no live streams for I think 1 or 2 weeks, but this week I really want to dive into live streaming again, as well as next week. Stay tuned for all of the live streams and videos that are coming out. And I'm super excited that you're here together with me today, because we will explore and learn Framer. Framer is a prototyping tool, and I have been wanting to learn it, to check it out for so long, and I never really had the chance because I wasn't using it in my design process. But I know that it's so widely accepted and used in the design community, and that's why I would love to test it out, to learn it together with you, to check it out and to create some awesome designs and prototypes in it. All right, so let me know in the live chat if you're here. Let me know where you're from, and if you're watching this live stream from your office, from your workstation, or from your home. So I already see Ben in the live stream. Welcome. I really can't wait to try out Framer. Framer sounds pretty exciting, to be honest. So here we are, California, 6 a.m. That's super early. Why are you up? Why are you already up at 6 a.m.? I wish you a great start into your day. Hope you will be productive. I hope you have a great time designing good work. Yeah. So David is also here for the Framer content. Awesome. Couple of people here for Framer. I know that many people used Framer for a really long time already, but it's really new for me. I already got it installed. Actually, to just make a little introduction to Framer, if you haven't used it before, Framer is a pretty awesome prototyping tool. It's somehow similar to Sketch and Principle and the workflow that I have right there. And I know that a lot of you guys are interested in the pricing of Framer, and that's pretty awesome. You could already read it on the starting page of framer.com. It's free. If you want to just use it for free, you can use it for up to 3 projects, 2 editors, and unlimited viewers. So you can try it for free, but actually you can even use it for actual projects. And if you get more and more successful or get paid work, you can then upgrade to the starter subscription or the pro subscription. I have the pro subscription right now, and that's why I am able to also use the desktop app. We will use the desktop app, but if you're using free or starter, you will just use it in your browser, which isn't a bad thing, to be honest. In fact, it's actually a great thing. A great aspect of Framer is that you could use it on Windows, or you can use it on, I don't know, probably even Linux or something like that, because it's web-based. I'm using the desktop app because the pro subscription is allowing me to do that, and I just love native apps. So that's definitely something we are going to do right away. But to just give you a little more introduction to it if you haven't used it, it's a free prototyping tool, can be used for teams, has a pretty awesome website. It's super simple, but I really like the bold fonts, the bold headlines there, the colors. Pretty awesome, to be honest. And you can create all kinds of interactive prototypes. I have never in my life used Framer before. Never. So this is going to be completely new for me. Maybe I will have a question every now and then. Then I hope that the live chat is really helping me to get forward. But let's open Framer. Let's open a new file and let's check out the UI maybe at first and to get a bit of an impression here. So it's pretty blank at the moment. But that isn't a bad thing. We have apparently like a layer list as far as I can see, and components. Maybe components is something like symbols in Sketch. On the right side, there is no information available, but I can imagine that this is something like the inspector in Sketch. So something like X and Y position in your document, width, height, or whatever. So this is pretty awesome. David in the chat says you can't get custom fonts without a subscription, but as a designer and developer, I'm pretty blown away by the tool. So that's pretty awesome, and I'm really excited about using it. We have a couple of tools or things right here that we can use. So we can insert something. Oh, I can actually hover these modes. Insert, quickly browse and insert any frames, interactions, components, and packages. Okay, all right. Frame, draw a frame and add more on top to create interface elements. Okay, so this is probably similar to the rectangle tool that I know from Sketch. Then we have stack. Create a stack, then drag and drop any element for auto-aligned lists, toolbars, and more. Okay. All right. Stack is some kind of smart sorting interactive element. That's pretty awesome. Then we have text layers, all right. Scrolling areas, draw a scrollable area, then connect to content on the screen that's longer or wider. All right, that's pretty awesome too. And then we have page. Use the page tool to draw a swipeable area and then connect to the content you want. All right, and then we have handoff. Click on any layer to show distances as well as CSS, etc. All right. So from my first impression, without having any content in here, it looks clean, very clean. And we have a play possibility in here, preview. Let's click on insert and let's check out what we can do here. Okay. We can find components, packages, and interactions in here. So we can explore things. We can add artboards, layout, links, modals, overlays, and then we have frames. Similar probably to artboards from Sketch, I guess. So yeah, maybe that's also something that I should mention. You can actually design in Framer. You can create full designs in Framer. You don't need to import anything. You can import designs, I think, from Sketch and Figma. But you can also create your own designs in Framer. And I think this will be one of the first things that I will try out at first. So we have a couple more things here. Interactions. Expand, rotate, scale, toggle, link. All right. Is there something like a magic transition? Or yeah, this is not a transition. This is rather an interaction, I guess. All right, we will see. Default components. We have buttons, checkboxes, devices, custom icons, and so on. And then we have public packages. All right, button plus, data component, camera plus, switch, desktop kit, and more. All right. Let's explore frames. Okay, I see that we really have a variety of frames in here, even Apple Watches, Twitter posts, Facebook post headers, whatever. Then we have interactions. Oh yeah, these were listed down here. Default components. Default components were those down here. Project components. I don't have any projects yet. Team packages coming from our team, and public packages. Find icons and UI elements. That's pretty awesome. I think we will try out the public packages at first to get an impression of the structure of files and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe we do that first. Let me check out some of those public packages. We have Elements UI Kit, Desktop Kit, Framer Base Kit. Framer Base Kit sounds pretty good. Let's check it out. Oh, and I get a preview before. That's awesome. I don't have to insert it right away. Okay, so we get a few UI elements and components right here that we can use in our designs. Material UI Kit, iOS on Safari to prototype existing Safari websites, mobile websites or whatever. And then there's David also saying, since it's a browser, under the hood you can use Firebase with Framer and make real data syncing prototypes. It's really crazy to see working. Okay, that's awesome. We have an iOS UI kit, a web UI kit. That's awesome. And there are so many more icons, UI kits and icons. This is not ending. Like we could try out all of these. Okay, I need to focus on one of these packages first, so I'm not running out of space in my mind. Maybe let's go for the base kit and just get an overview of the functionality of Framer first, all right? We will try that out first. Like that. So we got it right here. We can actually add it to the favorites and click show. All right. In the Framer base kit, we have controls. Yeah, we have controls, layout, miscellaneous, theme, and typography. Let's go to layout and select the card layout and insert it. All right. So we have a card right here, and at first I guess we have to create a frame, and I'm gonna create one for the iPhone 11 since I have an iPhone 11 and I would love to check out such a preview maybe. Like that. So we got it in here, and we can insert more using this menu here. We can insert more cards, lists, and then we have controls like a button. Let's insert a button and let's just play with those components. Is it called components? Or maybe layers, I don't know. Here we also have a little list of those components that are available. That's pretty nice. So for me, it's pretty similar to working in Sketch. So I have my layer list, I have my inspector. These are all words that I know from Sketch, of course. And then I have my symbols or symbol list. That's pretty fine. Yeah. So we have the button down here and the card. Let's get rid of the card. I can't even really see it. Let's check out the frame, the iPhone frame first. So we can change the orientation, and the button itself is also kind of behaving according to the switch of the location, of the orientation. That's pretty awesome. So if I stick it in the middle and I changed orientation, it's still sticking in the middle. So that's pretty awesome. Because in some apps you really want to create the horizontal orientation, landscape mode. I know that many apps don't even support landscape mode, and I actually never really use it other than maybe sometimes looking at a photo in landscape or looking at it, like watching a video. But it can be important depending on your project. All right, what else can we do with the frame? We have the position. We can zero that. I always like to zero the position. I don't know why. We can add a fixed ratio, aspect ratio, and then we can change some of the settings there. Fit content. Yeah, it's changing the frame to the size of the content inside. That's awesome. Overflow, show or hide. I don't know what that is really doing. I guess we will see it later on. Opacity, of course, rotation. That's awesome. We can change the rotation of our frame. That's something you can't really do in Sketch, changing the rotation of an artboard. And then we have radius. I see. Okay. We can stack things. I think we will do that later on. And we can add a little fill to it. So maybe we're gonna create a dark UI or something like that. We can add borders, shadows, and stuff like that. Background blurs are available. All right. So let's check out what we can do here with such a component. The component has a certain layout. It's showing us where it's pinned to, probably. Yeah, I think I will explain that or just explore that later on. Then we have some settings about that. Then we can fit the content. I don't know what that will do. Nothing right now. Opacity, rotation, and then we can change the what's that? Light or dark. Okay, so apparently you can like override the component, and then you have different other overrides in here. I can just use a primary, secondary, or use a different pattern. That's also awesome. So I can only show the text layer inside. Resize, all right. Horizontal, I guess, yeah. I guess if I set this to horizontal, it's changing depending on the content that's inside. Or I just have the fixed size that I define. Disabled. Okay, I can add a disabled state, loading state, awesome, icon. And then I can just select an icon from the list. That's super nice to create like easy and fast prototypes. Icon. And then we can override the text. Like login. Let's maybe create a simple login page, right? That's something I will probably be able to do here. Let's add a card back in. Oh, what's base? Base, okay. I will add a card back in, and the button should be above the card, and then I would like to expand it and just get a basic login form in here. Theme should be dark. Let's expand this right away. And this is going to be our login form. Right there, like that. Awesome. So from the first few minutes of using Framer, it's really self-explaining. It's not really hard to get used to it, since I'm using Sketch a lot and other design tools, and they're basically the same. But I like some of the features that I can explore in here. So I really like all of these states that are predefined. I think that's because of the Framer base kit. I like that you can just super easily add a disabled state, loading state, and icons and stuff like that. It's very fluent, very easy, and I really enjoy that. Next up, how about adding some text input fields? So we have input fields right here. I'm gonna just drag it in. But are we able to also insert any text? Yeah, so we can just add a normal text in here too, like that. Or I guess we can add a frame which could potentially behave as a text input field. Let's try that out. So let's create such a custom input field, text field by ourselves. Radius, I don't know, something like that. Let's change the size a bit. And then how can you actually add text in here? Is it just, okay. I want to, yeah, have a nice text in here. So it's actually pretty easy to create your own components too. For the moment, I would like to work with the predefined input, just because of sticking with the Framer base kit will help me learn it. Of course, you need like an email and a password field. Placeholder is going to be, we don't need any placeholders, to be honest. What's value? Okay. Is there something like a caption or a headline or something available? Typography, heading, maybe that? Oh no, that's too thick. Text, theme, label. I need a label, but not like that. Spinner tooltip. We will add our own custom. We will add our own custom labels here. So this is going to be email. And we need to change this to dark, right? Huh. Okay, so I guess these states don't really exist for the input field. Anyway, we can also duplicate this using my existing shortcuts that I know from the Sketch and other design tools. And then we can I know we are not doing anything special, anything crazy. But as I said, this is the first time I'm using Framer and I'm just getting into it very slowly. I want to also show you, if you haven't used it before, a few of these basics right here, and it's awesome. So Jamin says, I have designed one prototype in Framer. That's awesome. If you want to show it to us, post the link in the live chat and we can have a look at it. Or if you other guys created something in Framer, just post a link if that's somehow possible. Is there something like a public link or whatever? Post it in the live chat and we will check it out. So we got it right here. This is the login, form. Yeah, pretty easy. I mean, nothing special, as I said, but just getting a bit into the app. And then you could have your big header image or whatever in here. So what more components do we have in here? How about adding an icon? So, and what I would like to do now is to create a splash screen. I would like to get rid of those bottom components right here and get a splash screen with our little framer logo, framer icon right here. And how hard will it be to animate those two screens? How hard will it be to create a transition from our splash screen to our login? And what I wanted to do is to decrease the size of our logo and move it up, and then also to somehow fade in our login form or slide it in or whatever. By the way, I'm again right here drinking cold water from my thermos flask from Above. Above is a really awesome water bottle brand if you're looking for one. I like the design of it. I made a review of it on Instagram and also on YouTube in the last live stream, and I just enjoy using it because my cold water keeps staying cold inside. And what I think especially is cool about the bottle is that I not only have this small opening, but also the big one. I can unscrew this right here, and then have a big opening for cleaning and so on. It's pretty awesome. So thanks again to Above for sending me 2 of their bottles, so I can use them for my working. And for example, I also have a Nalgene whatever flask bottle. I like it too, but, and this is not sponsored, I bought it by myself, but this big opening is such a pain, to be honest. It's so annoying. I love that Above has these small openers. That's way better. Back to the design. How can we now animate the stuff that we have in here? So I want to have like an automatic transition. I guess this little lightning icon could help. Connect to navigate. So I can drag it over. And the tap trigger, is there something like an automatic interaction? I don't want to tap it. I just want to have like a timer or something like that. Tap, click, tap, start. I think I have to tap it. Or live chat. Can you help me? Like, is there any possibility to have a timer or something like that? To have a automatic transition? I don't want to tap the splash screen. I just want it to happen automatically. That would be super interesting. Anyway, let's open our preview window right here. I think we can really use that right now, snapping in. I will place that right there. All right. So, target is login, magic motion. What are these types of transitions? We have fade, flip, instant, magic motion. Let's check out all of them and start with magic motion first. Animation spring. Oh, nice. We can actually define the animation in detail. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty crazy. Okay. Yeah, let's start out. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. And I need to add a new transition back to the splash screen to just make it flip back and forward. Okay, so I have the logo on the splash screen and I click it and it decreases in its size. It's sliding up a bit and then just resting there. And the email part is just flipping in. That's awesome. That's fluent. Now, from my past knowledge from using Principle and so on, how can I be able to slide in these things right here? Add to stack. I want to stack them. Is a stack something like a group? I want to create a group out of these elements. How is that even possible? Add a stack. No, that's going crazy somehow. Yeah, whatever. I want to just try out what I'm used to from creating designs in, for example, from Principle. So I drag them into the splash screen frame and then drag them down into a invisible spot. And what should happen from my past knowledge from using other design and prototyping tools, animation tools, they should now slide up. Like this whole card with the input fields and buttons should slide up. And yeah, it's working exactly as I have imagined. So it's pretty easy if you have used any of these design and prototyping tools before. The magic move, or how they call it in Framer, is very easy. Magic motion, sorry. Let's try out all of these other types. So let's try out the fade. What is happening if you do a fade? Okay. Yeah. Somehow it's fading, I see. What about flip? Aha. It's creating such a nice flip animation, can be important. That's just plinking it. Yeah. That's just... Huh. That's crazy. What is going on? It's actually doing the magic motion, right? Let's go back to flip, instant. Yeah, it's plinking them in, 1 or 0. But then, once I'm back, it's doing the magic motion again. I think that I think I just encountered a bug. Anyway, we have the modal. What is happening with the modal? Okay, it's popping in from the top. Beautiful. I really like that. Overlay. What is happening with overlay? Okay, it's sliding in from the right. And push. Whoa, 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 what is happening in here? Uh-huh. That's a bit crazy. I think most of the time I will just stick to magic motion because I like the magic behind it, the fluent transitions and animations. But modal can be very exciting. Overlay could be very exciting, and flip. All of those, like flip is one of the craziest, and instant is just ugly. But magic motion, modal, and maybe overlay are the ones I really like, because I know them from the integrated design guidelines on iOS or whatever. So this is the way to go here with Magic Motion. Let's try it out again. I really like the animation that is going on in here. So Magic Motion is pretty awesome. What else can we do? What else can we do in here? We could now create some sort of, or is it possible? Oh, oops. Yeah, is it possible to insert text in here? That would be interesting for me. Maybe I need to get rid. Yeah, I can't click those. I'm always trying to click those interaction arrows. Let's get rid of that. Maybe we create a new animation from our icon. Is it possible? How can I create a transition, a new interaction from this element? Or does it has to be some sort of frame or whatever? I want to click the icon and then move back to the splash screen. How can I do that? It was super easy with this one. Is it not possible to click a certain element, a certain component or whatever, a layer, and then create a transition for that? Live chat, what do you think? Framer pros. How can I use this as a clickable component to go back to the splash screen? I can actually use this frame. Do I have to use a frame or whatever? Do I need to create a frame? I think that's not the way to do it. Or is it? Oops. Why is the icon now inside the frame? Shouldn't the frame be part of the icon? I think that's something I still need to figure out. Like, how does that work? How can I create a clickable area, or how can I make this icon clickable? So let's try out something. So I can fit the icon inside the frame. Do I always have to create such a frame overlay? Or how will it work? Import icon and then add interaction to it. Import icon and then add interaction to it. I don't know, friends. I'm a bit confused. I guess this is like I could imagine that what I'm doing right now is a bit of a workaround. And I'm not sure if anybody at Framer wants me to do it in just that way. but we will try it out anyway. Yeah, Magic Motion, login, Spring. Huh. What do you mean with, like, Jamin, what do you mean with import icon and then add interaction on it? How can I import the icon? Or what do you mean with that? I mean, we got what I wanted to do. And what I also want to do is add text. And you can actually add insert text into these input fields, which is awesome. Because interactive input fields have never been part of what I used in the past. So these past animation and prototyping tools which I used have never been featuring interactive input fields. So that's pretty cool. So I inserted the icon. But it's not possible linking it. Maybe I should now just drag this into the frame and it should still work. I'm not sure if I did it like 100% right. But anyway, we got an animated screen right here. And what else could we do here? We could create another screen. Let's create a duplication of our login screen. And how about showing the user that what he put in here, like the input, has been wrong? Or yeah, let's try this out. Let's try out the patterns or intents that we have here. Okay, so yeah, there are no intents on this input, but how about adding a link? How about adding a link down here that says, okay, if you don't have a login available already, you can click the link and create a login. Create a user, I mean. So maybe let's have a duplication of that. And then have it in here. Create an account. Something like that. But you friends need to tell me how can I now create a link from such a layer? Do I always have to create a new frame and try to fiddle out and lay it on top of each other like that? Do I always have to do it this way? Then getting rid of the fill, I think that's not the right way to do it, to be honest. And then drag this layer inside. Because now I can animate the frame, but I'm not sure if this is correct. And but we will continue doing it. We will continue to just use the app and try to learn it. And from here, of course, you have to define a username, password, and then I will want the user to have something like confirm your password. So this is going to be confirm password. This is normal password. And then up here, the user has to define an email address and a username. So it's super basic. I know that we are creating super basic layouts right here, but I'm just trying to find out more about the functionality of the app, you know? This is the first time of me using it, trying it out, learning it, and getting the basics right. So this one is username. This one is email address. And then we have password and confirm password. And this one is sign up. And if we click on our frame right here, I don't want to be pushed back to the splash screen, but to the login. So let's try out our flow. Let's try out our flow that we created in here. We have our splash screen. If I click on it, it's taking me into our login, and we created this little link down here. I guess we should copy our content. And paste it into the splash screen to have this smooth transition again. So I'm dragging it down, all the way. And then let's try out what is happening. So the normal animation is still fine. Oh, we have a hover effect. I didn't know that. We have a hover effect in here. Can we actually change the hover effect? What was the hover? Huh. I thought maybe we can customize this right away in our UI. But anyway, no problem here. We will just click on login, right? And it's not sorry, yeah, we need to click on create an account. And it's doing some weird kind of animations. But why? Create an account is turning into email. We need to figure that out. Of course, maybe let's start out by renaming our frame. And then we have confirm password, email, password, username. And on the login, we have password, email, and then create an account. Aren't these totally different layers? Why is email turning into, or why is create an account turning into email? I guess because we don't have the layer, right? Of course, we can just, oops. We can just try out a few things here by getting rid of all of those things. So boom, boom, huh. Okay, so there's even a text warp animation. Look at email and look at password. Look at these two text layers and now check out what happens when I click on create account. It's warping it into password and confirm password. That looks kind of awesome. And then we get a couple new input fields which are hiding in here. Okay, so I see that you actually need to do a bit more than what I did right here. I think I did a few things wrong. Let's rewind our UI. Let's rewind our UI. Let's get rid of this stuff. And then let's re-enter our content from here. As I said, what we need is confirm password. I will place this down here. And maybe that was the reason why it was so crazy warping our content, our text content. Let's make a duplication of that as well. And this one is going to be the username. Yeah, somebody said, like Item said in the live chat, I should turn these into a stack. We will do that in a second. So I haven't used stacks before. I just want to try out what happens now if I click on this one. So I see what is happening in here. At least email and password stay the same. That's what I actually wanted, and that's what I also achieved in here. But the rest isn't really clean at all. So, for example, the login button is just, I don't know. I don't like the animation of the login button text. And all of these other username and confirm password, I mean, of course, they need to fade in, but after the expanding of the box, is there an ability to fine-tune our transition, our interaction? So we have an animation right here. But from principle, I know that you can fine-tune your animation, your interaction. So for example, what I would like to do is to animate the background card layer at first, and then after that, turn these change the opacity of these username labels and input fields. So first the UI card and then the content. Because right now, what is happening is that these things are here first, and then the background is ready. But that's not a nice animation. I think that's something I need to figure out in one of the next live streams. How to create, like on how to fine-tune or customize your interactions. I think that's somehow possible. I could really imagine. So we have the frame in here, we have the interaction. I think you can somehow fine-tune it. So maybe let's check out stacks. A stack. What is a stack? Create a stack, then drag and drop any element for auto-aligned lists, toolbars, and more. All right. So this is our stack. Looking good so far. The button should maybe also be part of it, if that's possible. Yep. And then how can I now customize this? The gap. Let's change the gap. Okay, I see. Padding. All right. Align to the left. So stacks are a nice feature. I think the button maybe shouldn't be part of the stack, even though somehow it's fine. But the stack is working fine. The stack is working awesome. So we have like all of the same spacings between the labels and the input fields. So that's pretty awesome. We could do the same here. Let's create a stack for the labels and input fields. Email has to be part of this too. And then we need to correct the settings for the stack, like that. What kind of stack gap did we create? 22. So my first impression of Framer is pretty awesome. I really like what you can do in here. I really like the simplicity. I like that I can just jump in here, 1 hour of training and trial and error, and I know how to create splash screens, plugins, how to use certain elements, how you can create simple animations. And I think that's pretty valuable for the first hour of using this program. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, I think we will check out more of Framer in one of the next live streams. I'd love to test out how to create custom interactions if that's somehow possible. What about scroll and page? I haven't used this before. I didn't try out handoff yet. There are so many things that are left that we need to try out and figure out. But from what I saw in here, it's pretty awesome. I can create new pages. That's cool. So scale to fit, touch cursor. I can do so much more in here. That's pretty awesome. So, friends, thanks for tuning in today's live stream, the first live stream about Framer. I'm super excited to try out the next features in the next live stream. I'm excited about like taking you with me on this little trip of learning Framer and trying out all the features, creating awesome interactions. Of course, this is just some basic stuff to get into Framer. And I want to thank you everybody for giving me tips, for answering the questions that I had about Framer. I would love maybe to test out and see your designs. So if you created a cool design, a cool prototype in Framer, send me the link to it on my Instagram or Twitter. The links are down below of this live stream in the description of it. You can follow me there. You can send me your stuff, send me a link to it, and I will try it out in one of the next live streams. I will try out your file, I will test it out, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you, friends, for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do it. If you haven't hit the thumb up on this live stream, you can also do that. I just want to thank you for being part of today's live stream. and we will see us in the next one. As I said, there will be a few others this week and also next week. We will see us, and bye.